Hello everyone, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis and welcome to today's video. Today was planned to be the last part of the A Town Called Mallus hobby series before I headed home for Christmas. And you can consider this video an unofficial bonus episode, an addendum of sorts, because it does factor into the series, but it's not going to be me showing off models because, well, it's been a very, very busy couple of weeks. So my exams start today as you're watching this video. At the time of this publishing, I will actually be sat in an exam. So I've been a bit busy getting ready for that, between that and labs and more labs and other hand-ins and just stuff going on. I've been a bit run over by December exams, and I know I deal with June exams and January exams fine, but I've been a bit run over by December exams, and I didn't want to miss an upload. Of course I didn't, because it's, well, why would I? A great audience and you're great to work with. So what I did was I went and bought myself a Christmas present. So I'll be still getting Blight War as part of A Town Called Mallus, and that's going to be a big factor going forward. But if you remember back a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about a very, very special little release that comes out every Christmas, and that is the Battleforces. And there was a Stormcast one, and it was a Vanguard chamber. I think you can see where this is going, can't you? Yeah, I bought a Stormcast Eternals Battleforce. Come at me. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing today. I'm going to go through the Vanguard Brotherhood box set, it's called? Yep, Vanguard Brotherhood box set. And I'm going to just unbox it and we're going to have some fun just going through it, because it is a really fantastic box set, and there are some kits in there I don't own. There are some kits I do and there are some kits I don't. I'll run through the full box, obviously, when we get to the unboxing, because that's the point of an unboxing. For those of you who are following the French episodes of this series, I'm not going to be recording the French version for this, for the same reason of time and just between prepping for exams and running around dealing with one thing and another. I feel like my French is in a good enough spot. In fact, I got my French results back last week, and they were really good. I'm really happy with them, but I just don't have the time to crack out the French video at the same time and do all the editing and all the other things that I do. So apologies, people who are watching the French version, je suis désolé. But there will not be a French version of this unboxing. But in the aftermath of Christmas, I'm hoping to have an unboxing of Blight War as well, because I'll be getting that as well. And then we'll get back into the hobby series proper in January, and I'll show off the unit I've been working on, which hopefully I'll get finished in time for you to see it and enjoy it. So that is everything I think you need to know. So I won't delay you any longer. I've rambled plenty enough. So let's get into the unboxing for the Stormcast Eternals Vanguard Brotherhood. Here we go. Alright, time for the unboxing of this box. I'm going to apologise right now for incredibly low-tech quality video here. Basically, I don't have a desk big enough to do this unboxing on, and I haven't got like a tripod or anything for a camera to set this up. So you know how my unboxings usually go. It's not going to be particularly professional, but here it is. This is the Stormcast Eternals Vanguard Brotherhood. A Lord of Keylor, which I don't need. 10 Vanguard Hunters, 3 Vanguard Raptors with 3 Ether Wings. These guys can be built with either Hurricane crossbows or the, I think they're basically sniper crossbows. I forget what the name is right now. I think it's Longstorm? No, that sounds stupid. I forget what they're called right now. But snipers or machine guns, basically. You have a pack of Greyhound. I think it's 10, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm wrong. It's 12. And you can build one of them as an alpha. So it's like a pack leader. And then you have 3 Vanguard Paladors, your light cavalry, although they cost nearly as much as heavy cavalry. So once you pay like 3 versus 2, they cost nearly as much as the heavy cavalry. So they're not cheap, but they are pretty damn powerful. So let's get into this. I haven't even taken the shrink wrap off yet, so here we go. If you're wondering where you can get these sorts of things, I talked about it in the video a couple of weeks ago, but basically you can get them for, I believe, a limited time through Games Workshop, usual business. So, and you can even see my camera case, which is really unprofessional. Yeah, so you can get as various ones if you're Age of Sigmar player. That's why you're watching this video. Also, this is what the back of it looks like. There's one for Grand Alliance Death. There's one for I think it's oh god, I've completely forgotten off the top of my head right now which ones there are. But there's 4 for Age of Sigmar and 4 for 40k. So yeah, here's a bit more of a breakdown of what you've got. Lord of Kilo, 10 Vanguard Hunters, 3 Vanguard Raptors and 6 Ether Wing and 3 Ether Wings, 3 Vanguard Paladins and 12 Greyhounds. Lovely. Which is ironic actually, because Greyhounds don't fit in the Vanguard chamber at all. They're not in any of the rules, so it's intriguing to see why they're in here. I mean, thematically they fit, they're not in any of the rules. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. Good. I don't have to lift a lid, because lifting lids in unboxings is the bane of my existence. I generally have to put my camera down to do it. Hang on a minute. Sorry, high professional YouTubing. I'm really just expecting a pile of... Yeah, that's a pile of frames. Come on, you brute. Don't know what that is. So yeah, you've got 5 bases there, so that will be for 5 of your Vanguard Hunters, I believe. Oh, come on. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to put the camera down, so sorry. And we're back. Sorry about that, I'm useless, I know. So we have piles of bases. There are 4 in here, so no, there's 5. So there's 2 sets of Vanguard Hunter bases. You've got a packet of 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 5 again, is it? Yeah, that's 5 again. So maybe what I was saying, I thought they were divvied out by, you know, like for the Vanguard Hunters and for the Greyhounds and stuff. But maybe I'm overestimating intelligence here. There's another 5 there. Because I mean, how many is there? There's 10, 3, 12. There's 25 infantry bases. I think the Ether Wings are maybe slightly different, I'm not sure. And then you've got 4 cavalry, so fair enough. Bunch of instruction booklets, always good to see those. Another pile of bases, that's another 5, I think. So that'll take you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 25, which is just what I was expecting to see. Yep, you've got a huge pile of instruction manuals and rules, which is lovely. So if you haven't seen Age of Sigmar before, these are what your assembly guides sort of look like. Usual stuff. It looks like you're going to have the options for 3 or 4 Greyhounds in a box. Actually, I'm telling a lie because it says ×2, so it's more likely going to be a order of 6. Yeah, it's going to be 6 in a box. So it's 2 packs of 6. Could have guessed that. And you get their rules on the back, so their full war scrolls are actually here. You don't even need to buy the books to use them, which is actually really nice as a thing. So you got the Lord of Kilo, long strike crossbows. I knew it was long something. I thought it had a storm reference. And then you got Ether Wings. These guys I'm worried about because, well, they look flimsy as flip, but can't do anything about that. Vanguard Paladins I'm also worried about because their javelins will be flimsy as flip, but I might build this set with the hand axes because they're a little bit less flimsy. And then Vanguard Hunters, you've seen these in the Town Called Mallus hobby series before, along with the Lord of Kilo. You know how these go. And actually, I've got a few gripes with them, and I'm a little bit worried about them going forward. So, let's dive into what is the most fun part of any unboxing, and that is the mountain of frames. I love mountains of frames. So, what have we got here? 1. Every Greyhound has their own frame, right. So, if I just get that up on the screen, that is a typical Greyhound. It comes with 2 head options, and seemingly 1.5 bodies. That's an interesting design choice. So if I'm right, there's 1.5 bodies, there should be 8 of these frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right I am. So you get 8 times 1.5 Greyhound frames. I'll just grab another one completely at random. You can have a look at that. That one, I think that one's actually got the Alpha helm on it. If I turn it around and have a look, yeah, that's the Alpha helm up here. You can see it's got a little bit of plate on it. That denotes the Alpha, so the pack leader. And you see it's got a little bit of extra hair, whereas the one down here doesn't. It's interesting that the way they designed Greyhounds, I think they're a really interesting design, and they've obviously got a lot in common with the Griff chargers of the Vanguard Paladors. They're obviously like little cousins or descendants or siblings in some way to the Vanguard Paladors and their Griff chargers. So I'll be curious to see how I want to paint these up. Might have a little think about that, because I get the feeling I'll do all my Griff chargers in the turquoise that I've done on Justinian Bloodbreaker. Because I just want a little bit of consistency across my cavalry. But the Greyhounds, I'm really not sure. I might do a lot of color experimentation. So expect some slightly wacky color combos on the Greyhounds as I just experiment with things. You have been warned. Now, if I can find it, I'll do the Lord of Keylor next. Is that the... No, that's... No, wait, yes. Yep, that's the Lord of Keylor. Okay. So that's the Lord of Keylor frame. It's normally split like this in the regular box. The Lord of Keylor box is quite small. So if I put one down, you can see here you've got the body, the Boltstorm, the heavy Boltstorm pistol, one of the two tails. I'll just flip it over because that's where most of the detailing is. You've got his little survival gear, one of the arms, the main breastplate for the Griff Charger, his front breastplate, but not his actual armor, and most of the body for the Griff Charger is on here. On the other frame, you have the other components, obviously, that goes without saying. So you have the back legs, one half of the head, the cloak, his stormbound blade, I want to say, lightning blade. I forget what it's called now. The other tail, the shoulder pads. The only thing that worries me, and I'm probably not going to be building this Lord of Keylor for quite a while, because, well, I don't see the need. I already have a Lord of Keylor. His name's Justinian Bloodbreaker, and he's my general. I don't need two. And because the way Age of Sigmar works, converting up a Lord of Keylor to do something ridiculous is not as much of a thing. I might do some stuff with him, so I might do a head swap, and maybe a weapon swap if I can get, I don't know, one of the glaives or something from the Draco's cavalry. If I can get one of the hands that carries the glaives to fit onto his arm, I might give him a glaive instead of a sword. And I think, I think I have a spare shield as well. So I could do a full arm swap, but then you can't put Lord Celestance onto Griff Chargers, so he'd still be used like a Lord of Keylor. He'd just have a lance and shield, like the normal, like proper heavy cavalry would. So it's something I'll think about, and if I can make it work, I will, because I don't want them to look exactly the same. And that's the one downside with AOS, and particularly with AOS character kits, as opposed to with 40k. Because with 40k, you have just loads of options for your heroes. So, like, let's say the Dark Apostle, he can have probably, I don't know, that's a terrible example. The Orc War Boss, then. He can have Power Claws, Big Choppers, all sorts of custom gubbins, and then Mega Armor. You can do a load of different things with him. Town Commander's the same, Space Marine Captain's the same. You've got a lot more scope to convert. AOS doesn't have that because you don't have so many weapon choices. At least you don't on all your heroes. Some of them you do. The Lord Celestance or Draco, for example, has a lot of options, but the Lord of Keylor, not so much. So I'll give that one some thought. It's probably going to be quite a long-term one to do this Lord of Keylor. Also, I realise I've left my school bag on my bed because, you know, highly professional. Right, this one is the Vanguard Rector frame. I don't know if it's the only one, because it seems to have most of, if not all, the components on it. So looking at it, we've got the 3 sets of ether wings, which are the most prominent. They're actually really big. I didn't realise quite how large the ether wings were until you actually see them on the frame. You've got the stock for the long strike crossbows down here, and the stock for the hurricane crossbows down here. I'm genuinely thinking this might actually just be an all-in-one. Hang on, just give me a second while we go rooting through. Because that's Palador, that's Hunter, and that's yeah. It's literally one frame. Well, it's technically two. So I'm just going to snap this again, and we're going to have a look at both frames in a little bit more detail. Okay, there we go. So if we look at this one on here, you can see you've got a couple of torsos and legs, and this is the typical Stormcast leg assembly for the record. You sort of get one leg and the waist on one, and you attach the other corresponding leg to it. You've got your torsos down here, front and back, no real detail there. You've got one ether wing, all the shoulder pads, which is nice. There's not, and there's one here. Oh, hello. Hello, 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 hello. I don't know how well this will come out. Yes, there we go. That is the shoulder pad for the Raptor Prime. Now, I'm drawing attention to that for one simple reason, and I'm going to get the hunters so I can demonstrate my point. Generally, the symbol for the Prime has been quite lion-like, and you can see there that's sort of a bit lionish, maybe it's a bit wolfish, I don't know. The Liberator, Judicator, and Paladin ones are much more lion-like. But with the Raptors, if I get the right frame, you can see it's got much more of the look of the Ether Wings, quite a avian shape. That's really good and really interesting. I like that. I approve. Then what's that there? That's for the Ether Wing. I think that's for the Ether Wing. Yeah, that's the Ether Wing component there. That is going to be a nightmare to stick together. That might need pinning, so I'm buggered. And you've got a couple of the tabards are loose for some reason. They have additional tabards or backloads. Because I've never seen a Vanguard Raptor from behind, so I'm learning as I go here. So let's have a look in the instruction manual. Because I want to know, yes they do. Oh, they have double-sided tabards. Ah. So that's not a thing exclusive to the Knight Herald door, because I was calling this out on the Knight Herald. I was like, why has he got this cloak that's like this? And, well, the Vanguard Raptors have got it too. Ah, hello. That's interesting. Okay, I approve. And we go on to the, actually, no, this is the frame we were on to begin with the shoulder pads and the two ether wings, the diddly-dee. And then on here, you've got all your weapons. So the longer barrel, which is these ones up here, these are your long strike crossbows, these are your snipers. These things hit like a brick. Down here, you've got your hurricane crossbows. These things, as you might expect by the name, chuck out a bajillion shots. That's what they do. Especially if you don't move, they're terrifyingly not high number of shots. And this little component here, this allows you to put an ether wing, I believe, on the... No, maybe that's not that. But if you look in here, you can put an ether wing on the hand of your Raptor Prime if he's got a long strike crossbow. And you see also that the long strike crossbows have a different base, so they sort of work like the Skaven Jezzails and the Adeptus Mechanicus Arquebuses. For those of you who play Warhammer 40,000, they're like the Arquebus bases and the Skaven Jezzails a little bit, which is cool. Where is that ether wing? I want to find that ether wing now that sits on his hand. I can't see it. I can't see it for the life of me here. I think it's you. Yeah, it's this thing here. That'll be it. I'm 90% that it's going to be that, because it's sort of got its wings tucked in. Yeah, that's what that'll be. Okay, fair enough. There we go. Found it. So that's the Vanguard Raptor, and the Vanguard Raptors are the kit I'm actually second most excited to work on, because Raptors are a unit that I really need in my army because I need some range support that's also maneuverable. Hunter's got a very short range. The Lord of Kilo's is only one dude, and the Paladors are another case entirely. So having a fire base that's maneuverable thanks to Lord of Kilo's command ability will be really, really useful. So that's why I'm really excited for the Raptors, and they look like a really interesting build and paint now that I've seen them. Ether Wings, they're not going to be done in France because they'll just break. So Ether Wings, welcome to the back burner. You can join my crew. Quickly here, we'll go through the Vanguard Hunter frame. You've seen all these components before, and it allows me to draw attention to the torsos a little bit. So if I just find the backs of the torsos, actually, better would be to give you the inside of the cloak. Yeah, here we go. So the insides of the cloaks, if I just show you these two right here, you can see that they're slightly sculpted. Now that means that they correspond to a given torso. That's extremely annoying because it makes converting them an absolute flipping nightmare. because you can't have as much variety as you'd like to have. You can make it work, but you have to line up the torso with the cloak and then line up the cloak with the legs, but you can have different cloak and leg options. It's not so bad, but it's not ideal. It's really not. And it's probably my biggest chagrin with the Vanguard Hunters is that they're so difficult to convert for that reason, unless you're very good at like filing all that off and then making it fit regardless. If you can make it fit regardless, then all power to you. But it makes it a little bit more annoying for those of us who aren't very good modelers to make something happen. This unit will also be armed with the shock hand axes. So the unit we built the first time has got the Storm Sabers. The unit this time will have shock hand axes. That's the one for the Astral Compass guy. Yeah, there's a shock hand axe for you. There's 5 on here, and there's your sort of typical champion base because it's got the little, lion symbol on the knee pad. That's your typical champion. And the other Vanguard Hunter frame is right here. Ta-da! It's pretty much exactly the same. In fact, I think it is a carbon copy because the Vanguard Hunters take them in 5s and buy up. The box comes in 10s, but you buy them in 5s. They repeat every 5. So there's absolutely no difference here. And you've got a little fancy helm here for your prime, which is all lovely. Personally, I don't like bareheaded Stormcast, maybe because I can't paint skin. But I like the idea of them being nothing but living lightning inside their armor and not having actual bodies. I don't know why I like that idea as a concept. It's kind of fun. So that's a bit of my own little headcanon, I suppose. And, well, the more you headcanon within regular canon, the more fun you can have. So, yeah. There you go. And you'll see the back that he does the cloaks, which are pretty damn precise. I'm not sure if I'm going to do them in the white like I did my other unit. Probably they'll be quite similar. The main thing that will change will probably be the tabards, which will probably go blue rather than red, or the buckles will go silver rather than gold. I'm yet to make my mind up. And finally for the units, but before we get to that, I just want to see what this is at the bottom. This is usually here's things you can buy after, hello. This is a formation. Ding, ding, ding. So, the Vanguard Brotherhood is one of the following units. Lord of Kilo, unit Vanguard Paladors, 1 or more Vanguard Hunters, 1 or more Vanguard Raptors, 1 or more Etherwings, 2 units of Greyhounds. You have to split the 12 into 2 6s. I think you have to take them in 6s. Chasseur Véloce, à la phase de tir, ajoutez 1 jet de touche pour les unités Stormcast de Vanguard Brotherhood Bataillon. Si au moins une unité de Greyhound ou d'Etherwing du bataillon sont en 3 bout ou moins de l'unité cible. +1 to hit if the Etherwings or the Greyhounds are within 3 inches of the target unit. Sorry, I wanted to read the French one just as practice. So yeah, in the tuning phase, add 1 to all of the units from this formation on their hit rolls if their target unit is near the Greyhounds or the Etherwings. So that's how the Greyhounds are going to tie in. Right. Okay, I get it now. So the idea with this army then is to rush forward the Etherwings and the Greyhounds if you want your Vanguard Raptors to be going off immediately, or you can play it very cautiously and have them sort of escort the units. So let's say the Etherwings escort the Paladors and the Lord of Kilo, whilst the Greyhounds escort the Vanguard Hunters close enough that they're going to get the benefit. But the Vanguard Raptors, because they've got stupidly long range, if they've got the long strike particularly, can still claim the benefit, and you can just teleport the Vanguard units around to get them into range of the right unit. So that's a really nice formation. It doesn't come with any cost here, so I don't know how it'll be costed for matched play, but I get the feeling that'll be about 100 and something points to pay for. But it's an interesting formation, and I think it fits in with the themes of the Vanguard Chamber, so I'm on board. And finally, the unit that's probably the most exciting of them all, because nobody cares about transfers, and there's just some random bases down here for no reason. We have the Vanguard Paladors. Yeah. So there's the same design of the Greyhound Griff Charger as for the Lord of Kilo, but with less components. So rather than being legs separate, body, and then the head and stuff, you've just got one side is one side, one is the other side, and then you've got the top piece, which is where your rider, that's the underbelly, and the saddle's already built in. So it's 3 components to build your Griff Chargers, which is lovely jubbly. I don't know what the hell are you? What are you? Do you sort of go, do you sort of go in between the face? That might sort of go sort of here-ish, sort of slotted in to sort of create the impression of like size. I don't know. I'll have to read the instruction manual on that one. There, so you got your which way up is it? It's that way up. You've got your rider's torso. I'm just gonna get back in the light. Got your rider's torso, and the head's a really wonky mount, which sucks. So if I just turn the guy around, you can see the head mount is a bit wonky, which sucks for conversions. I admit that sucks, which is a shame. You've got survival gear, spare ammo, another crossbow, and all that sort of stuff. And you've got their javelins, sabers, hand axes. So yeah, basically you either go javelin and what's the combination? You've got javelins and swords, I think, and hand axes and crossbows. As I think, let me have a look, because this is the beauty of having the rules literally right starting here. So they either have the English isn't on here, so I'll translate. Unit Vanguard Paladors is 3 figures or more. Each has a hand axe or a javelin, and all of them have a bolt storm pistol, regardless. And then the sword is the lunar blade, which is able to be carried by the champion, which is just mortal wounds for days and days and days and days, which is lovely. Sorry, I had to translate some French for you there. Then we go on to the final frame. I'm going to get through this a little bit quickly because I don't know how much memory my camera's got left because it's useless. See, same idea for the Griff Chargers. Now, where's the prime shoulder pad? I want to have a look at it. It's probably on screen. I just haven't seen it yet because I'm blind as a bat. I don't know. I don't know, lad. Alright, there's a pair there. There's one there. Hang on. I'm gonna find these. Here we go. Told you I was blind. We're back to the sort of lion design, but with extra lightning bolts. Okay. Sorry, I noticed that with the Vanguard Raptors, and now I'm just insanely curious. So there you go. I wanted to see that, that was all. The cloaks are done same sort of style as the Vanguard Hunters, just they're going to be a bit more side-on because you're riding cavalry. You've got a bunch of weapon options, tails, bolt storm pistols there if you're choosing to wield them rather than grip the reins, and all of that good stuff. You've got a load of options here, and it's nice to have a kit with options because it's the one thing Age of Sigmar doesn't always do so well. So I'm going to very quickly just pack this all together, and while I do that, I'm just going to wrap this up. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my unboxing, as rudimentary as it was, for the new Stormcast Eternals Vanguard Brotherhood Battleforce box set. I hope you enjoyed it and had a little bit of an insight into how Age of Sigmar kits are designed and put together. I know it was insightful for me in some ways to see some of the design choices that go into some of the units. Is a load of kilo here? Yeah, a load of kilos here. So yeah, that was really interesting for me, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I know it's not the typical sort of a Town Called Mallus update that I'd usually do at this sort of time, but as I said in the intro, things have been a little bit stressy with exams and stuff. Next week is, well, next Monday is Christmas Day, so Christmas Day is kind of a write-off. I mean, I could try and get a video out on Christmas Day, and I might, but I'm not very good at coming up with a Christmas special, so I'm not sure if you can expect to see a video from me on Christmas Day, but I will be getting my hands on Blight War in the not-too-distant future, and that means that we can talk about that in an unboxing in some time before I come back to France in January. So, that's been that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the box in the comments below. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And since this is the last video I'm recording outside of the 40k Stories character before Christmas, I wish you all a very happy Christmas if you celebrate it. Yeah. See you next time. Bye for now.